Practice 7-3. Going to download the practice exercise 7-3 from our D2L system. Open that AutoCAD. And then if we look at the textbook instructions, what we're going to do is to align that to the center. And then as we look through, we're going to move it to these 4 different locations and subtract it from the object. We'll put these fillets on as well. They've softened up the edges. And there's different fillet options depending on how you want the edges to look. And they chamfered the holes. So let's give that a try. First thing we're going to do is to use the 3D line command to align that hole in the middle. Video line. Got my video recording stuff over my object. So we're going to select the objects. So we're going to say we want to align this object. And I believe we have to select them both. Hit enter. If they move, then it's just one. Do it again. 3 points. And I like to use quadrants when we go in through this area. So we'll go and make sure that quadrant is available. So we can just say center, and say quadrant, say quadrant. Well, there. One. So this time we're just going to attempt to 3D align it with just one. And again, we want to show the process. And so if we hit F1, not sure, I wanted to get the help screen on that. So typically that would be my F1 key. Let me try my laptop. Sorry. 3D line. So we're looking for the syntax. So much for the help screen. Come back to it. So we're going to say 3D align. Select our object to align, hit enter, and then we're going to give it 3 points, 2 or 3 points, I believe. I'll grab quadrant here. Specify 3rd point. And so we're going to go with put 3 points on it. Give it a point on our destination. And we have dynamic UCS, so you can see it's able to use the 3DO snaps to align to the faces, the center of the face. Let's see if it'll just be happy with the 1 point. Yeah, awesome. All right, so we have aligned the pole to the other solid in 3D. And then what we're going to do, the cylinder 16 units to the right and then 16 units up. And I'm not sure if they mean in up, what they mean by up, because it doesn't, maybe it means down, and to make the holes. But I think I can just sort of make this. And so let's just move it. And so we can say move, or we can say 3D move. We can select it, hit enter, grab one of the axes, and then we push it and we type in the value. And so we'll say 16, enter, grab the axes, push it, type 16, enter. And then I think it wants to go down, not up. So I'm going to go down 16 and see what that looks like. Flip it, shift middle mouse wheel, see if it goes through the bottom. It doesn't tell me that it does, and it doesn't tell me that it doesn't. So you get into that gray area. Let's see what it looks like. Wireframe. Copy the cylinders to the 4 edges of the box using 32 unit increments in all the directions. Subtract the 4. So it does seem to go down 25 units as I read through the exercise. So if we take a look at it, we moved it 16 units. And I think it means to the x-axis and to the y-axis. That's how it located the corner. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy it 32 units in each of those directions. And then we're going to move it down 25 units and subtract it. All right. So shift middle mouse wheel, and then we can go copy it. We can select it, hit enter, select the base point. And I probably should have used the 3D copy command, but you can use 2D if you work with ortho. Let's do it with the 3D command. I'll show you what I meant by before I bail out of it. And so you can put it in that direction and just type in 32, and it'll work in the same manner. And so I'm going to bail there, and then I'm going to use the 3D move on the next one. Say 3D move, select it, hit enter. And we could do both of these at one time. I probably should be more efficient, but we can demonstrate it. And we just, like I say, we move it in the correct direction, type in the value of 32, and I should have used copy. So let's go and undo that. And we'll just use the copy command. We'll do both of these at the same time. Hit enter. Remember, you need a base point, so we give it a base point. I'm just going to grab it at the top there. And then as you move it, you see how we get that orange line tracking out, that orange dotted line. That's what you want. You don't want it to be off square. In other words, I have it with ortho so that it will go straight. And I type in 32, enter, hit escape. Have to hit enter and not escape. And then these don't go all the way through, and it says to move them down 25. I'm not sure if that's enough or too much, but we can certainly take one of them and move it and see if it goes all the way through. And so again, 3D move, select the geometry, hit enter, grab the z-axis, move it, retype 25. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, too much. I'm going to undo that. And then I'm going to grab a measurement really quick. DIST for distance. Just going to grab a couple of points and measure how tall that is. So that is 20. And so I want to measure and see, the difficulty is they had us push these down, or at least I moved them. And I'm not sure the exact amount that I have there. But if we measure the distance from the top of the cylinder, 25. So let's move it down 5 and look at it, and then we'll move it another 5 if we need to. So we can go and grab the move, grab one of these cylinders, hit enter, grab a Z-axis, move it, shift middle mouse wheel. Yeah, looks like it'll do it. Let's see in visual style, conceptual. So we'll move these down 5, and then we'll subtract them. And so we'll use a 3D move. We'll select them. Hit enter. Grab the Z-axis. Down. You have to be a little careful not to get an O-snap because it might override it. So let's see if I just bring it down there and type 5. Yeah, it overrode it. And so I'm gonna undo that. And then I'm going to turn off the 3D O-snap here, or the O-snaps along with the 3D O-snaps, and then I'll 3D move it. And then hopefully it won't grab. Still grabbing it, but if I overextend it, it should work. And so I'll say 5. And so I just overextended it so that I didn't grab any of the other O-snaps. Now I will subtract. So we'll get solid editing for solid subtract. Choose the large shape first, hit enter, and then the objects to be removed from the solid that we selected first. Looks like we do have the corners on this already. Let's see if we want to add some chamfers or if we're going to add some radiuses. So we've subtracted those 4. We can use fillet and chain option of a 2.5 millimeter fillet along the top edge. All right. So we'll use the solid fillet under solids and find fillet edge right here. If you hover long enough, it'll show you a little bit of information on it. All you do is select the edge and hit enter. So we go fillet edge, bring it onto the screen. And then as we go through, it said to use the chain option. And so we can chain, and let's see if it'll go and find them all for us. It did. Let's see how it highlighted them all the way around. It's a little hard on the graphics. And you can do the bottom at the same time. I'll do it twice so that we make sure it works. There we go. Shift middle mouse wheel, flip it over, and fillet command again, fillet edge, select the edge. It remembers the last one, so we don't have to go and program in the radius again. We can down arrow and say chain here also. Next element, and it'll create a chain or link all of the geometric entities from endpoint to endpoint. Go ahead, enter. Hit enter again, and get a nice symmetric view. Add the chamfers to the holes, and it looks to me like this top chamfer in my model is bigger than the other one. Chamfer edge, distance 1, distance 2. Chamfer top edges of the 4 cylinders. So they're saying chamfer 2 millimeters and distance 1 is going to be equal to distance 2. So chamfer distance 1 is 2, chamfer distance 2 is 2, and then we select the edge. Chamfer is located under the fillet command. And then what we want to do is we want to program in the radius, I believe. Distance, we'll say 2 for distance 1 and 2 for distance 2, and then we'll grab an edge, select an edge, and we can go and grab the other ones here too, it looks like. Not sure if it's getting interference from those fillets. So it could be something in the way that I filleted the edges. I'm just going to end the recording, but we could always go back in here with sub-object editing and change the radius of this, or just undo it back to that point. All right, with that, that ends this Zoom video recording for exercise 7, practice 7-3.